Folks, my last video I was showing y'all how to take the tail shaft and our governor off. Last video got cut off a little bit, so I apologize for that, but we're going to go ahead and start back where we left off. I'm going to try and upload a video every day this week. We're going to do small segments every day. If it takes a week or two to completely disassemble this and rebuild it, that's okay. But I got to do this a little bit at a time because I'm using my phone. So where we left off was we had our tail shaft off. We had our governor off. I just set all this back on here. And then at the end of the part 2 video, I want to show how this governor comes out. It's very simple. It's easy. All you got to do is just turn it right and pull directly out. Just like that. Then put it back in. So all you're really doing is you're lining up. You have your teeth right in here and you're lining up on the shaft. So when you're pushing it in like this, it lines up on the shaft, on the output shaft. So that's basically how that works. Nothing to it. One thing you want to do is when you're checking this, you want to hold it straight up and there's a valve. Now, this is hard to see. There's a valve right here. So when you hold it up, if I can capture this here. Get on there. I'm trying to get a good view here. There it is. Y'all see that? That valve is supposed to move. If it doesn't, it's hard to do with one hand. There we go. See that? That valve moves. Now, if it doesn't move, you can take this pin out right here, pull this end out, and you can actually pull that valve out, and you can check and make sure it's no grooves or anything. You run your nail over it like around your grooves and make sure there's no grooves in it. That's one way of checking that. Now, I want to make a correction here on the speedometer gear. It's only one way that it can go on. However, you can put it on both ways. But I just want to correct this because I noticed when I was watching my video that I put it on the wrong way. Now, this can only go on one way. This is correct. This, however, can go on this way or this way. Now, what you want to do to make sure it's correct, it actually has a groove in here. You can see this. You see this small groove? You take your small groove and this faces back. See this right here? See that little groove in there? So what that does, okay, what that does is when you put this pin in here, it lines up with this end of this pin. It holds this on. So you want to make sure it's facing like this, with the small end back towards the front of the transmission. So that's the correct way to do that. I wanted to point that out. So you take this in right here, this goes in on like this. And you make sure your small end right here, see that? Make sure that's back like this. And you put this on like this. And you got to push this pin down. Now that's the correct way to do that. I made the mistake of putting this on the wrong way. But that's how you do that. Just make sure this end right here is facing the front of the transmission. See, this has got a longer one. See that? How much longer that is? Make sure the small end is facing the front of the transmission. That's all that is to it. We're going to set that down here. So we got our tail shaft out, we got our governor out, and we got our cover off, our clip. We're going to reorder a new cover for it. We got our speedometer gear off. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull our pump off here. So before we can do that, we're going to take this transmission and we're going to turn it up on the end. We got to take our pan off, because you don't need no special tools to pull this pump off. It's really nothing to it. So I'll show y'all how to do that. And we're also in another video, we're going to show how to remove our accumulator cover here. Now, to remove your modulator valve, which is right here, we're missing our retainer and our bolt, which I had to order. That was one of the items that this transmission was missing when I got it. To remove your modulator valve, it's simple. Take you a pick, like what I got right here. Sometimes you can take a magnet too. You just reach up in there behind it, pull it out, just like that. Now this only goes one way. It can't go the other way. See that? They won't go up in there. This only goes one way. Goes in just like this. That's how you get your modulator in and out. That's your modulator valve. Just remember that only goes in one way. So you won't go in the other way. That's how you remove your modulator valve. We're going to clean everything up. We're going to get this thing together. Now these bolts right here are 1/2 inch, so we're going to go ahead and take them out. Now I've already loosened these up. So we'll go ahead and get these out. Hard to do with one hand. Hang on 1 second, folks. Alright. There's our pump bolts. We got them all out. They are 1/2 inch and they are all the same length. Now they have a little seal washer that goes on the back of them here. You'll get those in your kit. We'll go ahead and take these on out. There's a better view. We'll get these on out. I've already actually went ahead and loosened all these up on our pan down here. So I've already loosened them bolts up. We're actually missing 2 bolts on our pan. That's no big deal. You can get parts for these Turbo 350s for really inexpensive. So here's our bolts here for our pump. Now I'm going to lay these out. They're all the same length. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about, the seals. See, we got 7 of them right there. Now here's your seal. I can get this off here. This just comes off just like this. Hey, there's our seal. It's basically like a washer here. These come with the kit. Look at that. These get replaced. They're all the same size. You have 7 of them. So keep them in order. So in our next video here, I believe part 4, we're going to take our pump out. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 4. We're going to remove our pump. Thanks for watching and subscribe.